If you want to do a day hike into the Grand Canyon but get away from the crowds on the corridor trails, this is the hike for you. This is the Hermit Trail to Santa Maria Spring, which is right behind me. Beautiful hike, and it definitely doesn't have the type of traffic that the other trails have here. In this video, I'll show you everything you need to know to do the hike. The hike is in the South Rim and starts at Hermit's Rest, which is on the western edge of the South Rim area. Now to get here, you're going to have to take a shuttle bus for most of the year. Sometimes you can drive, but if you need the shuttle bus, you take it right by the Bright Angel Lodge, and you're going to get on the red line. And there's a pretty busy stop here. In the afternoons, it gets busy, but if you get on the first or second bus in the morning, it should be pretty mellow. This is the first bus here, not too crowded. This bus ride is spectacular. You're going to get nice views into the canyon, and it's fun just to take this bus and stop at the different viewpoints along the way if you have not done that already anyway. After about 40 minutes, you will reach Hermit's Rest, and it's a little tricky getting to the actual trailhead. It's on the other side of the complex here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go by this iconic sign here, this entrance, and this has been here for over 100 years. They built this whole complex in around 1913 or so, and the building is still standing. Houses a gift shop now, which you can go in, but we're going to go to the gift shop, take a look inside. There's some snacks here too. It's a nice place afterwards if you want to get a snack. And this hearth is iconic in here. This has been around for a while, and this used to be a little mini lodge, and you can find some old pictures of it. It looks pretty much the same, minus the gifts. But to get to the trailhead, we're going to continue past the little store area, keep going, going to pass some of these ruins. There's a trail that continues straight past here. Eventually, you're going to see the parking lot over on the left-hand side. If you drove in, that's where you'll be parking. We're going to pass the benches, which is a great place to have a snack or just check out the views. And then we will find the trailhead here. This is the trailhead for the Hermit Trail. There's a few destinations from here. We're going to go to Santa Maria Springs, which is a nice shorter hike, but you can also do Dripping Springs and some of the other ones I have on my website as well. But this hike is about 4.5 miles, 1,700 feet of climbing, which is all back. I'd say this is hard. It takes most people around 3 or 4 hours to do, and it's an out and back trail. Now we're just going to head on the trail from the trailhead here. It's a pretty straightforward hike, well marked, easy to follow overall. In terms of gear for this hike, you're going to want to bring your backcountry essentials. In the summertime, it's probably not worth doing. Definitely bring a lot of water, do it at sunrise. Trekking poles will help on the way up, and there's no cell phone reception here, so bring a satellite communicator if you have one. If you want to know what I'm using, I have an unsponsored list on my website. Just search for Hiking Guy, best hiking gear. Now, the beginning of the descent is steep, and you're going to go down some switchbacks. I want you to keep your eyes open. You'll see some of this really nice trail, almost like pavement here. This was first built in 1911. This was the first tourist trail into the Grand Canyon. The other ones were mining trails. And also keep your eyes open for fossils. There's a few scattered around here, and if you're looking at the rock, you can usually spot 1 or 2 on this hike. We're going to continue down the switchbacks. You can see here the trail is in decent shape. It's not sketchy at any point. It's listed as a threshold trail, not a corridor trail. It says not maintained by the NPS, but I've definitely seen them working on it here, and there's nothing really to be scared about. Now, after the first steep section, we have a little bit of a breather going through here, which will be nice on the way back up, and then we have some switchbacks back down. This is that flat section in the middle, which is excellent. You can see the trail over on the right side if you look closely there. Continuing down, but this is a nice kind of cruisy section in the middle of the descent here. And again, plenty wide. This is not a sketchy trail, otherwise I would not be recommending it. There are some little steep sections where you have to go down the rocks, but it's all a trail that you can see. And some sections are like this, where that pavement is still intact from the original tourist trail in 1911 here. Went down to Cozy Camp, which is also known as Hermit Camp, which is now a primitive campsite. Now at the bottom of the climb, the switchbacks end, and we come into a flat area called Hermit Basin. At our first junction of the Waldron Trail, about 1.2 miles in, we're going to go straight here, but the Waldron Trail is off to the left, climbs back out. I haven't gone up that, but it's on my list to do, maybe next time. But we're going to continue down the Hermit Trail here. There's a flat little section, really lush, really green. And shortly after the Waldron Trail junction, we're going to come to the Boucher Trail junction, Dripping Springs. I have a hike or a video for that on my website as well if you want to go Dripping Springs. But for Santa Maria Springs, we're going to go straight here. We're going to continue to go straight on the Hermit Trail. And, you know, it's lush. I'm doing this in the spring, so it's pretty lush here. But once you come to the end of Hermit Basin, you're going to get these incredible views into Hermit Canyon down below. And that's where we're going to be hiking kind of down this cliff wall. But it really is spectacular. This is one of my favorite places here in the Grand Canyon. You can see the views down to the river there, down into Granite Gorge. Now from here, we're going downhill for this last little section. You can see the hiker on the other wall over there, hiking around. We're going to hike around this loop here and kind of follow the eastern rim down towards Santa Maria Springs. And again, the trail is plenty wide, at least 4 feet here. You'd be fine. There's no crazy edges. And as you continue along here, in the distance there is the little shelter at Santa Maria Spring right there. That's where we're going. And we're going to continue on downhill, down along the cliff face here. You might see some people who've been camping coming up, but eventually about 2.2 miles, we're going to get to Santa Maria Spring, which is right here. And a couple things here. This dates back to the old hotel that was here down at Hermit's Camp, and there's some old pictures from 1913. There's water here. You got to treat it. You can't just drink it out of there unless you want to be risk your health, but treat it. And then inside you have some nice shaded areas with benches. There's a trail register here you can sign so you don't write on the walls, and it's just a nice place to chill out. And if you continue a little bit farther, there's a huge plateau here where you're going to get some epic views down into Hermit Canyon. And that's a nice place just to kind of have a snack before you start heading up. Now, this is the real part of the hike. We have about 1,700 feet or so of climbing to do. Obviously, it's challenging, so take it easy and pace yourself. But this is where the real work comes in on the hike, climbing back up to the start. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment underneath the video. I'll do my best to answer it. And a big thank you to everyone who supports this channel. I could not do it without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you guys out on the trails.